Hi guys, welcome to your March readings. I have a really special workshop this month that I would love to see you all at. We're going to be diving super deep into our own love souls and healing all of that generational trauma, healing the inner child wound, really learning our own unique energy signature so that we can love ourselves fully and step into our power. Come join me on March 21st at 3 p.m. Eastern. We also have an amazing t-shirt that you can remind yourself all the time how beautiful, fantastic you are. The Love Soul t-shirt. This is all available. You can register on my website, fearlessintuition.net. Click book a session and you can get the t-shirt also on the same website, fearlessintuition.net, in the merchandise section. I love you guys. Enjoy your reading. Bye. Hi guys. Welcome to another Fearless Weekly Energy Update. We're getting deeper into Pisces season. I hope you guys are doing well. I've recognized that everybody's a little bit more sensitive. Like it's really interesting because there's like this teeter-totter going on where people are a little bit extra sensitive, but also there's like another side of it where people are being a little extra kind, or there just feels like something is really starting to soften up. This week we're going to get deeper into the Pisces energy. And so this week is really like, if you are not anchored into your journey, if you're not anchored into your reality, and have kind of like a solid place to start from, or a solid place to stand on, or place to fall back onto, this week could be a little bit challenging because there's going to be a lot of water energy going on. We're going to have the sun conjunct Neptune this week. We're also going to have the new moon in Pisces this week, and Mercury comes out of his post-shadow period. So I don't even want to call it intense. There might be some days that are a little bit more heavy, but for me, it's more about the illusions, right? For me, it's like, so like for somebody, for example, for somebody who is pretty solid in their journey and where they're going and what's happening in their life, this Pisces season, what I'm recognizing is you really have to reconcile all of those like shadowy, it's the 12th house, right? So all of those shadowy things that you don't like to pay attention to, like the shadow work that's being done during this Pisces season is insane. And I knew that it was going to be a healing season. I think sometimes I like underestimate when I get those kind of messages from spirit, like I underestimate just how healing that's actually going to look like. So even, I've had questionable moments in the last couple of weeks, but on the other side, it's been so healing. Like I've healed some generational trauma from my father's side of the family that I never in my entire life would ever think that I would witness ever. So this week is going to be sort of, not even sort of, but like really in that same kind of category. Like it is going to be extra sensitive. It is going to be extra watery. If you're not somebody that does really good with a whole bunch of watery energy, you might want to find ways to really make sure that you're being grounded every day. Like I have water in my chart, but there's not a lot, right? And the most prominent is in Mars. It's like the most fiery planet of what. So I know that during water seasons, like water sign seasons, or these very watery seasons, like I got to take those baths. I have to drink extra water because I'm dehydrated. Just things, because it is so healing and my energy just has to adapt in really big ways. So if you're finding yourself like falling off balance and stuff this week, really remember to do all the things that nurture you, be a little bit kinder to yourself. And I would even say like go deeper than the whole self-care aspect. Like if you like get into that inner child, that's what this Pisces season is asking of us, is to really get into that inner child aspect and nurture, right? And relearn how to love. And on that note, that Love Soul workshop that I talked about in the beginning is going to be a perfect thing for, it'll be the first day, actually the second day outside of Pisces season that we do that workshop, but there's going to be a lot of inner child healing stuff for that for sure. So let's get into the day today and kind of talk about it. Again, this isn't going to be like one of those like crash, bang, boom, like exciting energy, like things like shifting and changing dramatically. It's more about a flow. If you find yourself extra emotional this week, that's going to be normal, especially the closer we get to the new moon. So just remember to be gentle and kind to yourself. And sometimes it's like hard. It's the hardest thing to do when you don't feel good. You know, when you're not feeling very good, you want to be even meaner to yourself. I don't know why we do that. It's very strange of us. So this is just kind of one of those weeks. So today, Sunday, the moon is going to be in Capricorn. The moon is in Capricorn, trining Uranus, squaring Chiron, and Mercury starting to move away from Jupiter. So it's not so electrically charged. It feels a little bit more grounded. With the moon trining Uranus, there's just this feeling of wanting to get things done, especially the Capricorn moon. So today's just a good day to get ready for your week. I know that I want to get out into the yard today because it's such a beautiful day, and I want to be able to like open up all the areas for the flowers to start blooming. Just getting back in touch and getting really grounded to start this week off. Today is that day to do that. And you might have some moments of, reactionary triggers to things, but I think overall, genuinely right now, the energy for today would just to kind of like let yourself get grounded, and as we start in and getting into this. Monday, also the moon is in Capricorn joining Pluto, so there's going to be a lot of deep introspection. What's really interesting is I'm also looking at some of the asteroids, Pallas and Vesta. I wanted to pop in about that. So Vesta is the nurturer. Vesta is the one that she's the harvest, right? She's the one that sits next to the hearth and makes sure that the family stays warm, and she's represented by like grains coming up. That's because she represents the harvest and the fall time and sitting and tending the fire, if you will, at home. So she is actually opposite Venus exact on Monday, and so there is kind of this like nurturing quality about like really grounded, really nurturing, really deeply introspective. There might be some things that you kind of have aha moments about your childhood during this Pisces season, and that could really spark it, that because there's like almost this like completing of a story when it comes to anything that's heart-centered for you, or anything that you really feel with that Venus and Pisces. It's just like the loveliest, Venus is exalted in Pisces, and it's just like the loveliest feeling. And so having that opposition to Vesta, I feel like Monday is going to be a pretty good day to either nurture yourself or just feel the vibration of being nurtured for that. Tuesday, the moon is going to be in Aquarius, trining Mars in Gemini. So we're being sort of set up for our creativity. There's kind of this spark of creativity. Pallas Athena moved into Pisces, joining the crew today as well. So and Pallas, she represents like all of the mental clarity, like being able to think in a whole bunch of different ways to be able to find the answer to something. So having this being in Pisces and having that like washing of creative energy, it's actually like as we move into this week for those this is going to be an amazing week for artists. This is going to be an amazing week for the creatives out there to create. So Wednesday, with the moon being in Aquarius, trining Mars, squaring Uranus, and conjoining Saturn later on in the evening, it's like you have all of these really brilliant ideas, but are you being true to your journey? Are you being honest with yourself about your journey? Are you learning what it is that the direction that you really want to go in, and allowing and giving yourself permission to do that? Or are you staying with the status quo, right? Your honest wants to shift and change. And with that moon in Aquarius, it's like that Aquarius energy, we've been feeling quite a bit of it with that Saturn in Aquarius. It's like, what can we do to make things better on a bigger scale? And are you existing within that truth, or are you trying to play it safe and stay in the matrix? And it's almost as if there's like a tug of war with the soul right now. Like, are you really going to do what you were brought here to do, what you wanted to do, the plans that you made? Or are you going to chicken out again? Are you going to run away because it's too hard? Are you going to run away because the feelings that you have to uncover and the feelings that you have to bring up are too much to take, right? So this is going to be that kind of week, and Tuesday is going to be a really good day for all of those thoughts and all of those things coming up. And even for those who are solid on their journey or feel like they're solid on their journey, there's going to be a lot of shifting and changing and having to like look at different perspectives and be like, is this the path that I want to keep taking? Or is it time for me to broaden my horizons? Is it time for me to expand a little bit more? And how can I do that? And what is that going to look like? And you could easily get yourself caught up in all the what ifs and how and when and why and where, like all of the questions, right? Or you can say, okay, so it's time for me to expand. Here we go. And surrender it to the universe. And that is, as we move into Wednesday, the sun will be joining up with Neptune in Pisces, which is probably going to be a really, really sweet feeling in the air. The vibration will be really, really sweet for most of us. For some, there could be illusions that come up. There could be some secrets that are not being, brought out, that will probably come out a little bit later on in the week after the new moon. I think that this new moon in Pisces is actually going to be very revealing for a lot of people. Just like the full moon in Virgo was revealing, this one's going to be just as healing and just as revealing for everybody. So it's going, everybody's abilities, everybody's extra sensitive, everybody's psychic abilities are very in tune, everybody's intuition is like, woo, there's going to be a lot of amazing creative stuff that comes out of this energy, but there's going to also be a lot of illusions that could come out of this energy. If you don't feel safe and secure with where you are right now, all of those things are going to be revealed so that you can start doing things to make yourself safe and secure in your life and not be latched on or not be attached to things that don't make you feel safe and secure. The moon is in Aquarius, is going to be joining up with Jupiter and then with Mercury. So again, a very big creative flow coming out of that. I think a lot of ideas. Man, it would be really super amazing if we to see some amazing artwork come out of this. Like, I just think that people could really be doing some super things right now if they tap into that kind of creative. Thursday, the moon is in Pisces, and there's going to be a lot of emotional clarity. The moon will be joining with Pallas in Pisces, that's now in Pisces. And I think that there's going to be a lot of emotional clarity about things that need to be, what's the word that I want to use? Reconciled within yourself, maybe reconciled with other people. But it's almost like we're kind of getting this opportunity to think of bigger and better ways to heal, not just ourselves, but everybody else too. So like, I wouldn't even be surprised if I saw a whole bunch of intuitive healers or a whole bunch of like tarot card readers or astrologers just start coming up with like a whole bunch of new ways to bring it out into the world and really start getting super creative and with their healing, with all of the metaphysical stuff that's going on right now. I think that that's Absolutely. I was talking with another astrologer on Twitter, and really truly feel that this is the beginning of another like age of enlightenment, just because there is such an emphasis on, we were in that harsh masculine world for so long that the pendulum is almost swinging way, 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 way over here, so we can get softer, so we can be more in the feminine. And eventually we're going to have to like somehow try and meet in the middle, because if we get way too soft over here, then we're going to swing way too far back over here. And that's usually the way that it goes. So I think that a lot of what's happening is, that's why we're trying to like anchor these energies into what's going on, because I really do feel like there's going to be like another age of enlightenment. And the last time that, that was during like the Shakespearean age, and all of that stuff going on, the Renaissance time. So, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's what we started seeing in the next couple of years, that people were leaning more towards astrology, or, leaning more towards the mystical side of things, and not so rigid, right? Not so cynical and rigid, right? So the moon is in Pisces on Friday as well. We're leading up to the new moon that's happening on Saturday, early, like really super early in the morning on Saturday, the 13th. And as we start getting closer to that new moon, you're going to start to recognize a theme of what that healing is going to mean for you, what this new moon is going to mean for you. So I really want you to start to take note. The moon in Pisces will be joining up with Venus, on Friday. And Neptune and the sun. So we're going to be coming all the way up. So Thursday and Friday leading up to, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday leading up to that new moon in Pisces, there's just so much emotional flowing that's going to be happening, that if you sort of don't surrender yourself to the energy of that emotional flowing that's happening, you will probably start to feel like you're drowning, or feel like in some way that you're trapped in some way and you can't get out of it. I know a lot of people that I talk to for that, like when they get a little bit too emotional about things, they start to get paralyzed, and they feel like they're trapped, and they feel like they're drowning, and it's like the fight or flight, right? Like, I just want to leave. I don't want to have to, try and battle this. I just want to run away. I just want to run away. So if you're one of those people that does that, allowing yourself to relax into whatever emotions that are happening, and, I tell everybody all the time, transmuting that in any way that you can. Some people need to cry it out. Some people dance it out. Some people go outside and just scream or whatever. But whatever this new moon brings up for you, it's opening up a new chapter in your life to allow you to be real and honest with yourself, because the more real and honest you are with yourself, the more you're going to be able to be real and honest with the rest of the world. It's like, it's not easy to get there, but once you are in a place in your life where you're just like, this is me, like this is, genuinely me, and there's nothing else that I can do except for be myself. It's the most freeing feeling, but getting there is really difficult, because you have to reprogram yourself, right? So that's what this week is really going to be showing us, is how are we living in our authenticity? How are we living within our journey in a way that is benefiting us and benefiting the world? And are we opening ourselves up to this emotional vulnerability? Yeah, that word. The emotional vulnerability that can take the walls down. We all have these huge walls built up around us, and this energy is trying to break those down. And I tell everybody, I'm like, it's okay for you to have a fence with a door, and this is like the definition of boundaries, right? You have a door with that fence, and you are the one that gives permission of who comes through that door and who doesn't. But when you have those big walls up, nobody can come in, unless they get that. Like you force people to prove themselves by throwing the rope over and having to climb all the way up over the wall to get to you, instead of allowing yourself to be a little bit vulnerable and say, I place my boundaries. So that's what this week is really going to be about. And that's what this new moon in Pisces, it's freedom. It's allowing you to be expressive in a free, emotional kind of way. But you have to be able to do that without shaming yourself and without shaming anybody else too in the process. So I love you guys. I am still offering the Akashic reading, the Akashic astrology reading and clearing. And so far I've done several of them, and they've been really, really amazing. They've really helped people understand some of the wounds that they grew up with in this life and in past lives, bringing into this world. And we were able to clear that out, and it's just been fantastic. So if you're interested in that, that's on my website. And I also have regular astrology readings and tarot readings that you can find on my website as well. I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.